Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video I wanted to do a quick review and demonstration of this Adalov wireless bridge. So this one is for very long distances, as we'll go into more technical details later. So first of all, let's just have a look at what you get in the box and everything else. So again, this is a wireless bridge. So this is basically you're going to have two devices. Like, think of it as like your AI mesh, where you have your different routers or routers if you're in the UK. So this particular model is the CPE 469, and this is from you can buy it in UK Amazon, but also I presume you can get it from other Amazon stores around the world. So it does actually have a very thorough manual. So as you can see through the details, it actually goes through. So on the specifications, I'll put them on the screen as well, as you can see clearly. It does come with very clear instructions around what the actual layout of it is, and as we said, we'll go into that in a bit of detail. But you can see here it basically uses the 5.8 gigahertz wireless transmission. So that's for the long distance connectivity between each device. So basically between each of these nodes or bridges, as you'd like to think them. And then on here as well is actually powered by, it can be powered by an actual 3-pin plug or power AC, or you can do it power over Ethernet as well. So it gives you those options. And again, as we said, this is very long. So basically a distance up to 3 kilometers or 1.9 miles. Again, you have to use your bit of judgment. So if you've got lots of trees or buildings in between, then of course that distance will be reduced. But best world scenarios, you can go up to 1.9 miles or 3 kilometers. So we're talking long distances, so not just in your home kind of transmission. So even if you wanted faster speeds down to the bottom of your garden, you've got quite a big garden, or if you're lucky enough to have a barn or something like that in your property, then this can transmit that Wi-Fi signal down there to it. So again, like we're saying, here's an example, is perfect for your cameras. So basically if you're setting up any IP cameras or anything like that, or you just need some Wi-Fi transmission down there, then you can get a natural connection. And again, this is using your home base. So what you'd actually do is you'd have one of these bridges connected to your home router. And of course, if you're doing it long distances, both of these will be mounted outside. Again, we'll go and unbox those. So this will be, say, one of these will be on your home or near your property, and then this one will be based down, as we said, up to 3 kilometers or 1.9 miles away, where it will be transmitting and receiving your Wi-Fi signal. So again, it's really good for a video bridge kind of thing. So again, it's probably not for gaming. So it won't be something like the low latency you probably might be able to do. But don't expect to be championships and things like that. So as we said here, it's got some quite clear LEDs on the side we'll go into. But just to give you an idea, it has the wireless status and then the LAN ports, as we said. And then also at the bottom, you do have a reset button. You also have the 1 gig LAN port, so that's Ethernet RJ45. You have the AB button, so that's, as we'll come on to, is basically changing the channels. And again, you have another LAN port here as well, and you'll see that one of them is a LAN and one is for your power over Ethernet as well. And then you have a DC jack if you're going to power it not by power over Ethernet, but you're going to power it directly by the AC adapter. And so it gives you multiple options. And here's specifics around here. Again, I'll put them on screen so it's a bit clearer for you so you can read it, and around the details. So we'll just go on to actually unboxing now. As we said, it does come with very clear instructions and troubleshooting on actually how to set them up. So don't be fearful of any issues or anything like that. These are very clear instructions for once. You know, sometimes they don't have very clear. This one actually breaks it down and gives you troubleshooting as well if you're having issues and things like that. So it's always good to see that's included. There is some other bits of paperwork as well around the declaration of specifications, and then also here around some of the how to install. So as we'll come on to that in a minute, around the brackets and everything else that's included. So this is the, as I said, this is the model is the CPE 469. So this is again the wireless bridge. So again, it is enterprise level. It can be used for indoor and outdoor, but the specific regions is probably where you want to use this outdoor. As we said, that it does power over the Ethernet, and the DC adapter is 9 to 24 volts. It does have a layer 2 for pass-through, and it's IP65, so again, as we said, you can use these actually outdoors. And then you have the full channel, so that basically what it means is you're using the 5.8 gigahertz band that goes between them, and then all regions. So again, it's around the weatherproof and frostproof and things like that, because they are, I believe, are made of plastic, so they're not going to rot or anything like that. And again, you've got gigabit speeds, that the ports, Ethernet ports, as we said on there. So if we just open up the box, so as you can see here, it comes with the two actual units you've got here. So again, we just take these out. Again, it's got the details around here on the bags and everything. But as you can see here, they are actually not very heavy, so that's good to see. So at least when you're mounting these or anything like that, they're not going to be super heavy, or you don't need a big massive bracket to hold them up. So as you can see, as we said before, they've got the LAN ports, so you've got your LEDs here, so you can see your power, your LAN 1, LAN 2, your strength, and then the WLAN light LED as well. So at least you can see visually straight away as well if there's any issues for troubleshooting. This is the back part where you actually mount it. So if you're going to mount it outside onto a pole, as we said, it comes with brackets. And here's some of the default actual details with your login details. And again, around the information about IP addresses and everything else where you can switch. Again, as I said, it's a IP65 rating, so the water and everything else. If you want to get to the ports, so that's at the bottom here, and again, it's all very clearly marked. So basically, just pull that off, and you can see here you've got your ports here and everything on here. So you can see here that if I just put that up, you've got your Ethernet ports, as we said, your channel and your DC as well. So you've got all of those all underneath there, and also your reset button. So everything is all very easy to get to, and it's all covered by this simple little kind of cover as well to keep it protected. If you are keeping it outdoors, it might be worthwhile just putting perhaps a bit of rubber seal around here, just for extra, if you're in a heavy area where it has lots of rain and things. And again, it has more details around here, around what each of these ports are. So as we said there, it's got around the reset and the 12 volt DC, basically AC adapter, and then the LAN ports here. So it tells you here which one is the power over Ethernet as well. So it's clearly marked on here as well. So again, it might be worth taking a picture of this if you're going to mount this high up or somewhere you're not going to get to all the time, just so you've got an idea of what to look for when troubleshooting. But again, it's as simple as basically putting that cover back on and sliding it back on, and then using the clip here just to pull it off and everything else. So again, as I said, if you are going to be in kind of heavy areas where it is going to be heavy rain or anything like that, it might be worth just putting a little bit of sealant around here just to protect it and everything else. So as we said there, that's the first one, and again, you're going to have a second one. So it doesn't matter either way which one you're going to be using on here. So you can see here you've got A and then you've got B, so you can see them both clearly marked. So you can actually identify them. Probably A will be with your actual router or your router, and then also B will be the furthest away, so your other bridge that's going to be outside your home, or the furthest away. Again, as I said, it's literally push the button, slide off. It's really straightforward, and then to put it back on, you just slide it back on, and everything else. So as I said, it is very light, so it's not too bad when you're mounting and everything else, because you've got to take into account. You do have some clips as well around here if you do want to mount them. And again, as we said here, you can actually have screw mounts as well on here. So you can see basically on here that you've got these screw mount holes here. So if you do want to mount them that way, it comes with some nice basically Cat 6 1 meter cable, and it's got like a metal tip to it. I'd say that's probably okay for like a home kind of if you're connecting it to your router, but if you're going to be using a outdoor setup, you're going to buy your own Ethernet cable, because you're going to need much more cable. So you can get Cat 6 and things like that for up to 20 meters, 30 meters. So you can get the Ethernet cable, but you have to probably buy that separately, because I don't think this is going to be long enough, this one, for if you're going to have it outdoors as well. And again, in these boxes are going to be your AC adapters. So if we just open this up, and of course I'm in the UK, so this is the UK model. So as you can see here, it comes with the actual it comes here with the 3-pin plug here. So you can see underneath it's got here around the 12 volt 3-pin. So wherever country you're in, your version will be different. And then you can see you've got an LED light here as well, and then you've got your 2 Ethernet ports down here. So basically to give the power over Ethernet as well. So that's good to see. So you've got there. So you've got, again, the choice, as we said, you've got the DC kind of thing. If you want to power that by the DC adapter, or you can power it straight from the Ethernet cables. And those are the ones that they're going to be included with here, that are going to support power over Ethernet. And you can just plug that straight into the actual device. Again, when you're looking for them, just make sure, I know most cables should do, but if you're having Ethernet cables, is that make sure that they're actually compatible power over Ethernet and things like that to actually connect there. Okay, so now we're just going to move on to the actual mounting kit that actually comes with it as well. So now this is the actual mounting package that actually comes with it as well, and the brackets. So you can see here it comes with enough of the brackets and everything else to mount this outdoors like it's supposed to be used. So you've got here some of these kind of clips where you can actually just screw in and tighten as well. So you have 4 of those that comes with it. You've got some nice kind of brackets here, so these L-shaped brackets, where basically you can use these to mount onto a like a barn or a shed or anything else, or an outbuilding that you've got down there. Again, if you've got your own kind of pole down there or mounting, then you don't need these, but again, it gives you the option that comes with it to actually include. So again, if I can get the actual bubble wrap off, I'll be able to show you. So yeah, so as you can see here, it is well packaged. So, and everything else. So if I can get this off, and you can see here where you can actually then just screw them into the bracket here, so you can tighten them around here. But also you can see here where basically you mount that onto. You've got different ideas there as well, and you can unscrew that, screw it through here, and then mount that on there as well, and you can adjust it. So you can adjust down as well, so if you want it mounting, depending on your actual structure you're mounting it to, it does vary and adapt to it as well, so that's good to see. Again, as we said, you can mount this straight to it, so that's how they would mount. So you can see here, you'd mount it to here with the clips, and then you'll need to keep the actual direction. So wherever it is, your other one towards your home, or to your where the router is, and then the main bridge, you'd actually direct that to there. So you'd put that in the direction of where that is, and you can use that. So it's good that it comes actually with these brackets as well. And again, a lot of mounting options. So you've got the rubber grommets here as well. So you do have 2 of these with the wall mounts as well. So we've got the actual wall plugs and the screws as well that goes into it, and then you do have mountings of clips and more screws as well to actually affix that to other buildings, and as I said, out on the outside of where you want to do it. So it's good that it gives you the option to actually mount these, and actually you don't have to go out and buy all these different things, and then you can just have them all in the box as well as part of the package. So again, it's strong as well, so it seems to be it's metal tubing. It seems to be coated as well, so it's powder coated, so I think it's protected from rust and everything. But again, it might be just worth but when you do keep a check on it, it's just put some perhaps WD-40 or something to stop the moisture on these actual bolts, because over the years, of course, anything's going to start to rust a little bit. At least if you just preempt it and look after it, if you ever do need to take it down or adjust it in the future, they're all easy to be able to get off. But as I said, it's well constructed. Again, it's a kind of hollow inside, so you do have, it's not super heavy again, so one person can get up the ladder and mount this themselves with this as well. And it might be a good idea, if you've got the bracket already taken off, is to have that already on here, so when you do screw it back in using the the key here, then the butterfly screw that you can then just put it straight on, very easy. But it's good to see that they include that as well with the actual kit. So just going on to, as we said, about this one here. So I'll just quickly do the rundown of the specs. So as we said, this is the CPE 469. It does have a, the CPU is an MT620A, and then it has an 8 megabyte of flash memory, and then DDR of 64 megabytes of DRAM. The antenna, as we said, it works on the 2.4 and the 5.8. So the 2.4 is for your devices to actually connect to this device. And then the 5.8 is from this device to between the two bridges, basically, for them to communicate. So it gives, that's what helps with the distance that it can reach so far and everything else. So again, as we said there, the antennas that are external you can snap on, but also inside is 15 dB times 4 inside here. As we said, there's 2 LAN Ethernet ports in here. They are multi speed, so you've got 10, 100 and 1000 megabits per second. So you can put slower devices, if all older devices on there, they're compatible with that as well. Again, as we've got the signal strength as well here around here, so you can see quite clearly what the straight away or from the side. So if you do have this mounted out the way, then you can see just by looking at the LED lights. Again, the speed, so it does have up to, it is 11N, so that's up to, or 11AC, sorry, up to 900 megabits per second. So it's not the fastest or the newest Wi-Fi standard, but it's more than fast enough if you're going to use this over distance with the 802.11ac speeds, as we said, up to 900 megabytes per second. And again, you've got the gigabit ports in here as well, so to give you that kind of speed as well if you're going to use this. If you're going to plug another router into the bottom of this where your outer building is, or anything like that, or where you've got wireless devices connecting to it. Again, just be wary that the UI, if you're going to put it over a distance, that of course speed does actually get affected by all the interference from outside. And again, as we said here, it does support all of those, so the 802.11b, G and N. And then, as we said, it's IP65, and it does support up to WPA2, so that's good to see for security and encryption. And basically, I don't believe there's any fans in here. It's passively cooled, so it does have a heat sink in here as well, so that's good. So you're not going to have a buzzing sound. As we said, it's powered by 12 volt 1 amp. So if you do want to get a DC power supply, or power over Ethernet is 24 volt 1 amp US standard. So basically that's by the gigabit power supply that you've got through the adapters you'll find here when you get your plug-in and everything else, and you can power it straight away. So it's good to see that they include all of this as well. So what we're going to do now next, as I said, is that what I'm going to do is put this one near the router of my home, and then I'll put the actual B bridge, and I'm going to put that down the bottom of the garden, and then we'll see what kind of, how to set that up, but also what kind of speeds we'll get and everything else, and just to give you an idea of the setup process as well. So we'll move on to that now. So as you can see here, just to remind you, on the back of the router, we've plugged in one into the Ethernet port as we mentioned before, and then on here, as you can see, we have the LAN port that's actually within the power over Ethernet power adapter, and that actually goes into here. And as we mentioned before, then you plug this into the mains and everything else. That's going into the LAN, and then that power over Ethernet will then cable Ethernet will come out and go into the actual bridge. And this will be bridge A that it will be coming out, because this is the connection that goes strictly to your internet router. So now you can see that I've plugged the other end of the cable from the router into the LAN port on the adapter, and then the power over Ethernet I've plugged into the other port, and then that runs up to the actual bridge, as you can see here. So this is going to be bridge A, so you need to make sure always bridge A, and there's the switch as we saw in before is actually in the A position, and it's got the A sticker on the side. You'll be able to see that once you're switched on, you'll be able to see the actual connections and the green lights, like we said before, light up. So now we're going to switch it on, and we'll see what the LEDs and everything else come up with. So you can see now that the LEDs for the LAN and the power are flashing green, and also the strength indicator. So we haven't actually switched on the other bridge yet, so we're going to switch that on now, and then you'll see the connection as well when it actually connects. So this is the bridge A, as we said. So this is the one where you can start to see where it's going to get the WAN, and then you'll see the green constant light as you see there, and the strength indicator once we switched on bridge B. So now we're at bridge B, and you can see here the same adapters you get the power over Ethernet plugged in, so that's going to the bridge. And then if you had another device for the LAN, you would plug that in on the right hand side. So it's clearly defined where you can see the power over Ethernet and LAN. So now we'll just plug that into the power extension cord that I've got set up, and then you'll see the actual green LED to give you an indication. And as before, as we come up here, you'll be able to see the indications here actually come on as well, so clearly show if you've got a signal and it's connected to each other and paired. They should automatically pair with each other, but again, as you can see here, I've used the built-in bracket to actually screw it in, and as you can see, it does have the bracket that it all comes with, and it's very straightforward. So you can see now that the actual strength indicator has started up. And also you probably won't have the LAN because we haven't got anything plugged into the LAN, but you'll see the power indicator come on, and now it will try and connect automatically and pair with the A bridge that we set up and connected directly into the back of the router. So again, this is powered, as you can see, from underneath from here, and as we said, we can actually disconnect this. It does actually come with here. One thing to be wary is if you're using much thicker Ethernet cables or stronger, that's not so flexible. This is the Ethernet cable that comes with it. It's a Cat 6E, as you can see here. But if you do have thicker ones, then it is a little bit more solid to go into the gaps underneath. So just be wary of the flexibility of putting the cap on. So as you can see here now, the signal strength is actually on full strength, and it's actually connecting to the WLAN. So now we'll actually have a look and then connect. As you can see here, I've used the actual installed with the actual connections, you can see here, and also it's very strong and solid with the metal and everything else, so I don't think this is going to rust or anything else. But again, it's always good to keep an eye on it as well, and it is capped off at the top so no rain can get in as well. So you can see here it's actually connecting, and then we'll just give it 5 minutes to connect, and all the green lights start to flash and everything else, and then all go constant, so you know you've got a connection there. So now, as we can see here, what I'm doing is that you can see the WAN light is actually flashing, so that means data's coming through. We have the signal strength as well, so it's on full strength. You can see the LAN, and the LAN 2 is not flashing because we haven't got anything plugged into the LAN. So that's with the power over Ethernet adapter, or the power adapter, and nothing actually inside. And then we have the power here. As you can see here, you can adjust the actual metal bracket as well that comes with it. As I said, it's proper sturdy as well, so when you're screwing this in either to brick or anything like that, then of course you can have, if it further distances away, you're going to have this much higher up. So now if we just zoom into here, so this is where the as we said before, is where it's got the cover. So if I just take this off, so now if I'm just taking this off, as we said here, it does have room for the Ethernet cable, and then also, as you can see under here, we have the ports for the power EV Ethernet, and it also gives you indication lights as well, and this is where you can flick the switch between A and B. But also you'll find that the back of the actual bridge has a sticker on there to indicate if it's A or B as well for the bridge. And of course, remember the A bridge goes to connecting to your router. But again, it's easy, as you can, underneath you can actually put this back on. So if you are high up and everything else, to just click this back in. As I said, the issue is if you do have thick Ethernet cables, they may not sit properly through this gap here and with the actual down here. So just be wary that this is the Ethernet cable that came with it, the Cat 6E,
But yes, if your cable is very thick or it's an outdoor cable, it may not actually go through here properly, so just be wary of that to consider. Again, all you do is just push that, clip it back in, and then all it is a clip underneath to undo it. So you can see here it's actually straightforward. So now we'll just move on to actually doing a speed test from the to actually see what kind of speeds, and also if we can get a connection as well. As we said, the distance of these, if you are high up on a building, it can go up to 3 kilometers, or I think 1.9 miles. So this is just to go over the power adapter that actually comes here. Of course, I've got a 3-pin plug because I'm in the UK, and as I said here, this is 24 volt 1 amp power supply, but you're going to have the relevant plug for your country and area. So as you can see here, we do have the power over Ethernet and the LAN, so it's clearly defined. And as we said, this is the Ethernet cable Cat6e that comes with it. It is reinforced on the side here for strength, so it is quite good for outdoors as well. So again, all you do is you just plug this one, so this cable will go into the LAN port onto the actual bridge, and then that will go into the power over Ethernet. So this will actually power. You can actually power also the bridge using a actual mains adapter and a barrel jack if you don't want to use power over Ethernet. And if you do want to connect another device like your IP camera and you don't want it to use Wi-Fi and for more stable connection, you can actually plug into the LAN port here. There is a possibility that you might be able to use a switch where you can plug that into the switch into here and then have the switch so it gives you an extra 4 LAN ports, but I haven't tested that, so it might be something just to consider that you can use. And again, there's the clear LED to show you when you've got power. So once you've plugged that in, again, as we saw before, all your LEDs on the bridge, and it should auto pair when you first set it up. If it doesn't, just make sure that you've got the channels correct, and also one of the switches is selected to A and one is selected to B. They can't be both A and they can't be both B. So now you can see here we are completing the speed tests. So as I said, this is around 200 meters distance from the main bridge, and this home actually we only have ADSL, so it's only 40 megabits download and 3 megabytes upload, so it's quite slow on the compared to most modern 1 gig download and uploads kind of speeds. But it'll give you a good idea of the actual speed we could get. As I said, there was literally no Wi-Fi connection at all here, and now we're actually getting the full 40 meg download, and then near enough the same as upload. So it's actually, the connection there is actually really strong. You can see here it's still quick enough for video streaming and things like that, and as we said, this is using the 5 gigahertz band, so you do have a choice of the 2.4 as well. So you've got 2 bands there when you actually connect to your bridge. So that's where you're furthest away from. You would connect to that basically Wi-Fi name, and you can configure it there. You can configure the Wi-Fi name and everything in the portal and the instructions like it actually clearly shows. I hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching. As usual, if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments section and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.